a whole new Disney World.
Howdy partners, and welcome back to Retroland. Today we'll be covering the history of the Country Bear Jamboree. The original concept for the Country Bear Jamboree came about in the 1960s, when the Disney company was planning on opening a ski resort in Mineral King, California. Imagineers Mark Davis and Albertino were tasked with creating some bear-themed entertainment for the lodge. In the end, they came up with the idea of a country music band comprised of bears, the perfect ambiance for a high-class skiing trip. However, the ski resort would never be built, as the land it was to be built on was instead annexed into the Sequoia National Park. The show, on the other hand, had gotten quite far into production, and was moved into Frontierland at Magic Kingdom, which was under construction at the time. On October 1st, 1971, the Magic Kingdom opened to the public, and with it came the Country Bear Jamboree. It was an immediate hit with the guests in Florida, so on March 4th, 1972, the show was brought to Disneyland in California. This version was nearly identical to the Walt Disney World version, with the only difference being that it had 2 theaters to improve capacity. Yet another version of the show was built for the opening of Tokyo Disneyland and opened with the park on April 15th, 1983. The main difference between this version and its Western counterparts being that several of the songs were translated to Japanese. All versions are very similar, but for the purposes of this video, I'll be using the Magic Kingdom version. The cue to the Country Bear Jamboree is themed to a southern concert hall, decorated with photos of the acts you're about to watch on stage. Once you enter the theater, a cast member gives you a safety spiel, and the show begins. On the right wall of the theater, there are 3 mounted heads, that of Max the Deer, Melvin the Moose, and Buff the Buffalo. They crack a couple of jokes, and our host Henry comes on stage. He describes that the show we're about to watch is a compilation of music from America's past. He then introduces the 5 Bear Rugs, the main musical group of the show.
I'm about to play now in a good old key of G. Zeke and Zach, Ted, Fred, Byron, Tennessee.
Next up is Ernest, who sings If You Can't Bite, Don't Growl by Tommy Collins.
Don't go, go, if you can't bite, don't growl. If you can't bite, don't growl.
After him is Liver Lips McGraw, who sings My Woman Ain't Pretty, But She Don't Swear None, which is a good reminder that this show opened almost 50 years ago, and almost certainly wouldn't have been built by modern-day Disney executives.
I got a woman, she's got me, whatever we do, we both agree. She ain't pretty, but I ain't too. The things we like are the things we do.
Next up is Wendell with Mama Don't Whip Little Buford, a high-class song about child abuse.
Mama don't whoop little Buford. Mama don't ground on his head. Mama don't whoop little Buford. I think you should shoot him instead.
That wholesome act is followed by Trixie, who sings Tears Will Be the Chaser for Your Wine, a song by Wanda Jackson about how you'll become an alcoholic if you break up with her.
Bright lights and taverns, that's where you'll spend your time, and tears will be the chaser for your wine.
Terrence is next up, and he sings How Long Will My Baby Be Gone by Buck Owens.
How long is forever? How soon is now or never? How long will these heartaches linger on? And how long will my baby be gone?
The next act is the Sunbonnet Trio, who sing All the Guys That Turn Me On, Turn Me Down. And honestly, I didn't know animatronic bears could be so relatable.
It's the same way everywhere I found. All the guys that turn me on, turn me down.
Up next is Teddy Barra, and she descends from the ceiling on a swing to sing Heart, We Did All We Could by Gene Shepard.
Well, there he goes, he hardly knows the heart he's breaking.
Love me, love
I talked to him, but I don't think he understood.
After she finishes and rises back up, Big Al, who is modeled after Imagineer Albertino, sings Blood on the Saddle by Everett Cheatham.
There was blood on the sand and blood all
Henry then sings the Ballad of Davy Crockett with Sammy, the raccoon that lives in his hat.
Born on the mountaintop in Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods, so he knew every tree. Tamed him afar, he was only 3. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier.
After he's interrupted by Al, Henry decides to end the show, and most of the cast returns to the stage to sing Old Slew Foot. As you exit the theater, Henry, Max, Buff, and Melvin sing Come Again.
Y'all come back, you hear?
Alrighty, folks, got our those bare necessities. Exit out to your right and have a great day.
We hope that you'll be coming back again. And you got to see us now, man. We've got a very better ways with just the bare necessities. We hope that you'll be coming back again.
In 1984, the Country Bear Christmas Special was introduced at Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom. It was a Christmas overlay that dressed the characters in winter gear and had them sing Christmas songs. In 1986, a summer overlay was introduced called the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown. This overlay was removed from the Magic Kingdom in 1992, and the Christmas special ended in 2005. On September 9th, 2001, Disneyland's Country Bear Jamboree closed to make room for the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which opened on April 11th, 2003. In 2002, a film based off the Country Bear Jamboree was released and lost $17 million at the box office.
Disney's The Country Bears. Yeah. Coming soon to own on Disney DVD and video.
In 2012, the Country Bear Jamboree closed for several months to be refurbished. All of the animatronics were reskinned, and the show was shortened by 4 minutes. All in all, the Country Bear Jamboree is a great show. Its age shows at times, but that's part of its charm, and I hope it remains in Walt Disney World and Tokyo Disneyland for years to come. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
I'm bolted to the wall!